Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review, honey, of Salt-N-Pepa, the movie. I wasted 3 hours of my life, technically almost four, because the special that came on after the movie was a waste of my time, okay? But first things first, like if you have not done so, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, honey, to become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. It is 4 a.m. and I just have to get this done, okay? Do not to also subscribe to subscribe, like this video, comment in the comment section, share it on your social media. You can follow me on IG under Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Okay, the link to all of my social media is in the description box below. Let's just get into the foolishness that was the Salt-N-Pepa movie. First, let's address the foolishness of the actors portraying Salt-N-Pepa and them kind of ignoring Spinderella. Now, the wigs were horribly okay. Okay, they were horrible, but okay. Now, this was the first person they called Spinderella, who was the DJ back in the day. Again, I don't like these wigs, but you know, what can we take? It is Lifetime, okay? Now, they wanted us to feel like, again, horrible wigs. They only showed us Spinderella maybe a total of 5 times through this whole 3 hour biopic or whatever. Did not, to my knowledge, speak of her on the special with Lonnie Love. I was fast forwarding through it, so they could have spoke her up and I just didn't hear it, but whatever, I don't care. But again, they would show them as a 3-person group, but they still use Spinderella as a second class citizen that really was not a part of the group, because she would be right there with them in interviews and videos on the stage, but y'all want us to feel as if she wasn't really a part of the group. And the reason I had to address this first is because as a 39-year-old woman, I know Salt-N-Pepa. I don't remember them without Spinderella. I understand that when they were first still living at home, still working at Sears, still having bad haircuts or whatever, before they made it, they were Salt-N-Pepa because of the song they did, this song they did Today You Fresh. And Spinderella wasn't there then. However, Spinderella was with y'all the moment y'all made it until forever. Okay, no one really cares that before y'all were actually making it that she wasn't there. The minute y'all got together and got organized, got professional, got a deal and all of that stuff, when that stuff started rolling in, that's when she was hired in to be the DJ. She was on songs over the years in all of the videos, in all of the interviews. I'm like, you can rarely look. Okay, she had her kente cloth hat too. Okay, why y'all making it seem as if she was an afterthought? Okay, I just don't get it. Okay, that is Salt-N-Pepa and Spinderella. Okay, every promotional business photo you saw of the group, she was there. Okay, now you can say other stuff in a private life or whatever, it was just Salt-N-Pepa. But however, anything music wise, interview wise, performance wise, it was the 3 of them. Okay, again, she was always there. Okay, again, from the beginning. Okay, gold chain, regular button-up shirts, and bad haircuts. Okay, she was there from the beginning. So it angers me that they used her in this biopic as an afterthought. We did not get nothing from Spin's story besides she joined when she was 16 and her mama allowed her to join the group and then tour with them and do shows at night or whatever. But how can we not get anything else about her as if she didn't matter? Y'all talked about her like she was a sound person, an engineer at a studio y'all used at one time. She was a whole part of the group. It ain't not that album that came out after maybe they first freestyle mixtapes or whatever, but nothing since she joined the group did not have her on it. Okay, she was on the albums. The girl, it just angers me. Okay, she had her own jacket, her own kente cloth hat, her own gold chain. Y'all, I had her as a whole person in the group for years. For years, and y'all waited until this biopic to act like, oh, let's not address her at all. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, look, again, she has been around since the beginning. Okay, so to not include her was not only a slap in the face to her, I also support Spin and saying, as a group who built their platform on supporting and uplifting women, for y'all to snatch her voice, okay, and just ostracize her from the group and the story is bullshit. Salt-N-Pepa, okay, Sandra and Cheryl is some bullshit. Queen Latifah, Mario Van Peebles, all of y'all who had something to do with telling this story, for y'all to allow for Spin's voice to be silenced is some bullshit. I understand that some shit happened with them and she sued them for back pay and royalties, and they, because they were excluding her from things, and they kept saying how, well, she's like hired help, we're the group, is what they said or whatever. Now that case was settled out of court with the money or whatever, but still, y'all have been treating that girl like a second class citizen. Like within the past maybe 5 or 6 years, it's got real weird or whatever, and I don't know why. It's some bullshit. It's some whole bullshit, and it make me and my homegirls mad. Okay, now the actresses they had playing the girls, boom pow, Salt-N-Pepa. The wig they have for the girl playing Pepper and Salt, it matters a lot. I need them to address the person they had playing Pepper is definitely a Princess Bride version of Pepper. You know, in Princess Bride, she was like a little ugly duckling, but she was pretty underneath. I guess Pepper was like, this is who I am underneath. Because Pepper had surgery and stuff over the years or whatever. But I feel like the person that had played Salt, she favored Salt or whatever. The person that had played Pepper, I said, who's this lady? Who is this? Who is she supposed to be? She supposed to be Pepper? Girl, not on my watch. I'm just like, we need to address the elephant in the room, and I don't mean as in size. I mean just like, we know she don't really look like Pepper. She don't. I was like, but I'm gonna leave that be too. And then the man, I'm gonna get all my pictures out the way first because I won't do that. The man they had playing Martin Lawrence, I'm like, who is this grown ass 40-year-old man who supposed to be working at CSC with them? Why did y'all have Martin look like a grown man back in the 80s? Why he looked 40 in the 80s, which was 30 years ago? How? Martin has never looked like an old ass man. I'm looking like, this is who y'all picked? Really? Really? Okay. I don't know why. I don't like it. Now, the person who they had playing Herbie looked like Herbie. Okay, he definitely, they had the right person for him. I guess they didn't want him to sue him for the, I don't know, defamation of character, because he was the only one who I'm like, no, that's him. Okay, it looks just like him. But he not even a group member. He got all the shine, honey, all the shine. And then lastly, the person I'm gonna shoot, Pepper and Tretch. Okay, that was Pepper and Tretch back in the day, and this is who they had playing Pepper and Tretch in the movie. I mean, the braids match. Okay, Tretch's got gold chain, but Tretch's chain with the lock match. That's the only reason I knew who he was because of that. When I seen, I said, "Oh, that's Tretch." But nothing else about. Did he sound like Tretch? I mean, he had a cadence of Tretch, but I was like, I mean, all right, he doesn't have the sexy swag, the ruggedness, the grit that I feel like Tretch had. He was like a soft version of a hard man. And I was like, I mean, I guess y'all think we're going to believe it, but I don't. But again, those was the majority of the people who they had playing people or whatever. I wanted to get all that out the way so I can get into the little note that I took. This whole 3-hour tour, okay, Gilligan's Island as movie, we didn't need it. I feel like they did not touch on enough for this to be 3 hours. I feel like they wasted so much time on stuff we either already knew or they just elongated a story that didn't need to be elongated, basically. Now, they make it clear that Pat was the crazy one a little bit, but I feel like they still dialed down her craziness. Like I was like, she real extra, read all about it, and you don't really get that until the third part of the movie or whatever. Once they made it and they got money, and she girl going crazy. With Salt, I feel like the whole movie, she was like this innocent, precious angel who was just innocent and hanging out with the raunchy Pepper who took her to a strip club, and she was in love with Herb, her love bug Herb, even though Herb was a whole cheating ass, punk ass, nothing good ass dude who she allowed in her life for all that time because she's an angel, precious. I was like, girl, bye. Anyway, they did, and for me, the first hour and a half of this movie was so focused on Herb. I mean, was y'all trying to make us know that he's the reason y'all are who y'all are? It was so much Herb, girl. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how y'all focus on that man than Cinderella? That's why I feel like the movie was too long, okay? I'm like, for what? And they was making sure to put, little specks of he's controlling and he's pushy from the start, okay? He was on some bullshit from when? From the start, okay, of it all. And clearly none of them are rappers. We see a part where Salt and her tried to be their own rap group and it don't work because he can't rap. And that is where he like, we need to get another female to help you rap on this or whatever. Now we see how Salt worked at Sears. Come see the softer side of Sears. I don't know if Sears is still open. I think it is because I'm like, isn't Sears where people go to get refrigerators? I don't know. But Salt worked at Sears and her and Pepper met or whatever at the school or wherever they was, and Salt was trying to find people to work for Sears because she got a commission or a percentage if she had people get hired or whatever. So, she got Pepper a job. We then seen that Martin Lawrence worked there. We then seen that Kid in the Play worked there or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That was a fun fact, but I knew that already. I guess that was people who did not know. I knew that. They talked about that for years and years and years, how back in the day these people all knew each other because they all came from the same place. I'm gonna leave that be. So Pepper and Salt now know each other. Pepper is at the Sears thing beatboxing on the beat while Clark making conference calls. I'm looking like, why is y'all supposed to be selling warranties? Why is she beatboxing on the beat or whatever? So because Salt see Pepper can beatbox, okay, now we should be a rap group. Okay, boom, pow, pow, whatever. I said Martin was 40 or whatever. Okay, we're gonna leave that be. We then see, they make a little song. Okay, Herb is kind of hard on Pepper. Do it how they do it. Okay, I'm looking like, calm down, Ike, calm down. But clearly none of them were rappers. They were trying to, do it if they could or whatever. They made the whole little diss song back to Dougie Fresh. Later on, Salt and Herb go to the record deal people or whatever. They get offered $5,000 for a new song, and if that song was good, the label will give them another $9,000 to do a whole album. I'm looking like, damn, 14 grand back in the 80s was a lot of money. So they was happy about that money. However, Herb then told Salt, well, let's not tell Pepper all of this now. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, me and you, me, Herb, you, Salt, we are the group. Okay, Pepper is just somebody here she's a help. She's there in a supportive role. I'm like, oh really? He then bring up how I'm doing all the producing and the recording or whatever. You doing most of the rapping. Why should we give her more money when she's doing the least? Like, she's just the help. She's like, a little razzle dazzle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, okay. He said Pepper's really only here to complete the look of it all, but she's not really a part of this. It's really just me and you. I'm like, oh, so Herbie and Salt did Pepper how Salt-N-Pepa are now doing Spinderella. Y'all played Pepper first and then Pepper. You allowed them to help you play Spin? Bitch, you was Spin, girl. The reason this is crazy is because, excuse me, Salt-N-Pepa approved this to be, it's factual because they put it in the movie. Y'all are, girl, just messy. He then tells Salt, you can split your money with her, but I'm not splitting my money with her. We're not gonna do it three ways. We get half, I get half, you get half. And then if you want to give your half to her, then that's how she gets paid. And Salt went along with it. And when she went and told Pep they got a whole record deal, she never gave her any details and told her, well, Herb is getting half, and then we split in half. The fuck again. She got played how they're not playing. That happened in the 80s. Okay, girl. Anyway, we then see they was okay, record deal had or whatever, they doing shows or whatnot around the city or whatever. And then the pimp who wanted to be their manager, but Herbie said no because the man wanted too much money and Herbie wanted all the money. You know what I'm saying? He at one point took a photo of the girls and then had fake Salt-N-Pepas going to a concert to perform because at that point in time no one knew who they were because they weren't putting out any photos or whatever, so all they knew was the song, not the girls rapping it. Okay, so they go to their little concert or whatever, and it's a whole fake group there at Salt-N-Pepa performing. And it was funny, well, not funny, it was a good thing that the actresses playing fake Salt-N-Pepa were Salt-N-Pepa's daughters, Egypt and Corinne. So that was cute for them to play their moms fake people back then. I don't care. Anyway, Herbie then gets pissed off or whatever. He sneaks into the venue and he runs on stage and say, they're fake Salt-N-Pepa. Don't do that. They're fake. He then runs off. The pimp and his people then chase him, beat his ass. Salt runs up and they punch her in the face and knock her ass out. I'm like, girl. So because of that, Herbie like, you know what, now we have to be more business minded or whatever. So I brought in my one friend who will do our promotions and people will know who y'all are. I brought in my brother to show y'all the dance moves or whatever, be y'all choreographer, and then some girl named Latoya or Latanya girl or something or whatever, who's now the DJ Spinderella. So that's the first girl we saw or whatnot. Boom pow pow. The fact that man punched her in the face, like he punched Salt dead in her face and knocked her ass out. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. Anyway, we then see Herbie concocting the Push It song. Okay, and it looked as if the girls just do what he tells them. He makes the song, he makes the beat, he comes up with the lyrics, and they just rap it. So again, that's his way of saying, I do all this work, so I get half y'all money. I'm like, why would y'all not just write your own stuff? But I'm gonna leave that be too. Anyway, we then see the beginning of Salt, well, not the beginning of, but we see Salt and her bulimia, okay, because Herb is telling her how she can't gain weight because she can have curves how Pepper has curves, like she has to be skinny. I'm like, that is fucked up. So the whole episode, the whole movie through, we see Salt eating, binging, throwing up the whole time. They really should have had like a little disclaimer or whatever, because again, in my opinion, we only needed one scene of her throwing up, forcing herself to eat, forcing herself to throw up. We only needed one scene of that. They had like 6 separate scenes, but I feel like you can imply that's what she was doing without consistently showing it. Again, this is a way to where we didn't need that to be shown so many times in a 3-hour movie. It was just taking too much, in my opinion, or whatever, because we saw she was fully suffering from it. We did not know. It was just too many times. Girl, it was too much. Anyway, we do see Pepper hair getting burned out by perm, whatever, and that's when they both shade their heads or whatever. It has shorter hair. Boom, pow, pow. So we then see the DJ girl who was first in the group gets fired. I feel like she did not get fired. I feel like Herbie was fucking her and she got pissed, or they broke up and then she went away. Okay, and then they bring in who we do know now as the forever Spinderella, again as the new DJ. So at that point in time, That's when she got in the group. But again, they treated her or talked about her or showed her in this accessory aspect of, okay, she over there one time, she over here one time, she can't hang out with us this one time or whatever. But she's at every show. She's in the interviews. Anybody who don't know, Cinderella was a part of the group. Even if y'all have issues with each other, to not include her to me is crazy. And Cinderella even said how she was offended, or whatever word she used, that they did not even let the actors playing her talk to Spin. Anytime you do a biopic, if the person you're portraying is alive, the actor playing them should talk to the person because it helps them get a feel for the role. I feel like the reason that Cinderella character didn't get many lines is because she didn't have any point of reference. You know what I'm saying? She didn't talk to Spin. Girl, bullshit, if ever saw it. Push It Come Out is a popular song or whatever, and that's when they get to be popping, okay, after Push It or whatever. Now they're famous, okay, famous, famous, dun 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 dun. But they're still treating Spin like a little afterthought or whatever. Peppa catch her be cheating. We don't care that much or whatever because if she told him, I can't tell her anything that she don't already know. Meaning she know you cheating, she's choosing to ignore it, and your ass is an asshole for doing it around her. Okay, bullshit, bullshit. Now he do threaten her that if she was to tell Saw anything, he will fire her ghetto ass because she's the ghetto one of the group. I'm like, Herb was a whole asshole. Like he was a whole bad. That is the definition of bad business. You know what I'm saying? You're dating him and he's fucking things up and causing, kind of, in my opinion, dissension between the two of y'all, but we're going to leave that be. Because at this point in time, Herbie kind of don't like Pep. And Pep don't like him. So it's this tension between them two, which Salt most of the time gets dragged into. Choosing between her friend, her bandmate, and her man. Now, after in the studio, whatever, some girl do call, Salt answers the phone, and the girl say, you probably want to change them sheets on the bed in the basement. And then hangs up. And she just walked out the room, looked at the bed. The sheets are messed up. And she's just like, damn. And she just looks all sad. So again, she knew the whole time that he was cheating on her. And she just kind of never addressed. And I'm like, again, but we could feel that aura coming from him the moment he hired that DJ girl. I knew it was something up with that or whatever. At this point in time, it's been like 4 years of them working or whatever, and they have had like 2 albums and everything, and they've been rapping and this and that. And so the promotional guy who Herb brought in years ago was now leaving because, as he say, it's a lot going on. You know, rap is changing to being disrespectful or whatever. Even though Salt-N-Pepa not doing that, and he also encouraged Salt to step up to the plate or whatever. You don't have to keep waiting on Herb to do music or whatever, because at that point, Herb had like left the studio, and so they were going to have to cancel a session or whatever. They're like, no, like he's taught you everything. Like you watched him and worked with him side by side for 6 years at this point in time or whatnot. So why don't you just do the shit yourself? I'm saying you can produce y'all next single or produce y'all next stuff, blah 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 blah. And she then produced their next single, Express Yourself. Express yourself. My voice is all gone because it's 4:30 in the morning. Anyway, Express Yourself was a great, great song, and Salt is like, okay, I can do this. I can do this, okay? We then see Peppa out here having unprotected sex with some man, okay? And she pops up pregnant. I'm like, surprise, surprise. And she's happy she's pregnant. Him, not so much. He then said, I thought you was on the pill. Well, I wasn't, and I'm having your baby regardless. And I was looking like, okay. So clearly that was her getting pregnant with Tyrone. And the daddy was a dude who like had saw her at the bar, knew who she was, liked her a lot, was getting her gifts and being all fancy dance with her or whatever. But again, he was kind of a piece of shit too. So again, she get pregnant, he was gone. So it was like, okay, fly. It was the way they even covered their relationships was so like secretive. Like it was just some dude she with, and now she pregnant. Okay, even with Salt and Herbie, you knew it was bullshit going on, but like it was as if Salt just was like in La La Land and didn't know anything. It was just weird as fuck or whatever. Anyway, We then see Peppa's pregnant, good and pregnant, whatever. And at this point in time, because Peppa has been told by other people that if you only, like, if y'all got 6 points per album, and you get paid by points on the album or whatever, if y'all get 6 points, and Pep explained, well, no, like, as a group we get six, Herbie gets 3 points, and then me and Spin split the three. And they was like, what? Like, that's just dumb or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You need to renegotiate because the deal y'all made before y'all got famous and had fame and sold millions of records is different. Like, you should be getting better things now, whatever. And so she then get told exactly what to do and what to say to change they was it the contract or whatever, or get more points to renegotiate their contracts or whatever. So Pep and Salt go to her, like, you know what I'm saying, we want to go to the label and get a better deal. You know what I'm saying, if you can come with us or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, either way, we going to talk to them and whatnot, okay? And she's like, oh, that's gonna happen. So Herbie say, fine, fine, fine. Now then we then see Salt goes home to Herbie's house, and it's a lady there with a baby, and she just, oh, the baby's so cute, oh, he is so adorable, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, Herbie didn't come downstairs as Salt's holding the baby, and the girl is watching her hold the baby, and like, oh my god, the baby's so pretty. Herbie's mama then walk in and say, tell her, tell her. And she's like, what the fuck is going on here? The mama then take the baby and walks away or whatever. Herbie then say, that's my son. He had a whole baby on Salt. This fool then say, I got her pregnant while we were on a break. She's like, we were never on a break. Like, I never had a break with you. Like, when the fuck Herbie ain't, he gonna then, she's like, you know what? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. It's a wrap. He's like, no, we can't break up because of this little mishap. She's like, bitch, a baby is not a mishap, girl. He had a baby on her. But again, she knew he was cheating all that time. But people say you can cheat in peace, but you would not bring no baby up here on me. Okay, leave him. Anyway, at the same time that she finding out that he had a whole baby on her, now she's sad, pissed, at home in the bathroom, eating, and then throwing up. And then Pep called and said she's in labor. So now she got to rush to the hospital to be with Pep while she's in labor or whatever, and then over labor pains and all this shit. Don't ever leave me. I will be here with you forever. So now Salt-N-Pepa are bonding themselves as forever friends and whatnot. I'm like, cool. Anyway, and they said because Herb has taught her everything that she know, they can do music on their own now, if you say so. We then see she start dating or messing with a guy named Gavin. Gavin is who she married. They have 2 kids together now, and they just recently got divorced. So again, she was with that man for a long time, whatever. But again, they was messing around and whatnot. We see that. We then see her meet Tretch or whatever. Now they 100% allude to Tretch beating Peppa. They allude to him being very, very aggressive, and we don't see him hit her at all, but we see his aggression. We see them arguing, and we see cutaway scenes or whatever. We also see when they got married, and at one point, she in the bed, I'm tired, I'm tired, whatever. He like, ain't we married? You know, you can't say no to me, whatever. And I believe at one point she has said in her book that he would force her to have sex, even when she did not want to while they were married or whatever. So I think that was another, alluding to that's what that was, and she was tired of him forcing her to do it to him when she didn't feel like it, even though he's her husband. Again, it did not show him in a good light at all. It did show her consistently leaving him and going back, despite how bad it was and whatnot. So girl, fine. We then see them in court. It's like 1996 or whatever, and they in court with Herbie because Herbie trying to sue them so they can't do whatever. But he lost. They won and whatnot. Now they're free to do whatever they want to do business wise. Again, most of this 3 hours stuff about them and Herbie. A lot of it was about that, and I'm like, whatever. So then we see the group kind of beefing here and there, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I mean Salt-N-Pepa. beefing up. But not, I'm saying it's like now 1999 and they don't have no music out or whatever. So they do like little tours of like little clubs or whatever. Peppa needed the tour because Peppa had bills and had bought a mansion or whatever and just ain't no money. Salt didn't want to do it, but she went anyway. And at this point in time, she was pregnant too, but she still went on tour. Salt's miserable. She's miserable on tour. At one point, she fell on stage while she was pregnant, fell on her belly or whatever. She was kind of scared about that. And the doctor, like, you need to stop working. Like, you need to rest because you are putting yourself through too much. Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. We then see she's in church with Pastor Mario Van Peebles. I don't know what that man's name was, but it was Mario Van Peebles. It was the actor, him, but I don't know what his name was in the movie. So, he at the church preaching or whatever, and Salt is there crying, and, because he's speaking about, letting go of people and things that don't love you back, and you have to know when enough's enough. And all these things that she had been going through all these years, she felt like she gave her whole life to this group. She had given up so much, and she was just miserable between being unhappy in the group, her bulimia, this depression, like all these things she was dealing with, and she just could not keep doing it. At this point in time, Peppa was being Peppa, extra, we all about it or whatever, hanging out and partying and whatever. So again, it was just they weren't meshing well anymore. Again, we don't see anything going on with Spinderella. Nothing. She's just gone or whatever. At this point in time, Salt is over the group, and so she calls Peppa while in church to tell her that, I can't be in the group no more. I need to I can't keep being attached to you at the hip. I have to carve something out in my life for just me. I've been attached to you from the hip since the 80s. At this point in time, it's down to 2000 or whatever, and we just need space. And Peppa's sad because at this point, Trent just asked her for a divorce, and so she was crying or whatever. And her thing was, okay, I don't need you, you leaving me, Trent left me, whatever, her daddy died, my dad left me, whatever, and I'm done, our friendship is dead, and then they hang up the phone. Fine. We then see it skips ahead to being 2005, okay, and at this point in time, they're both living in separate lives or whatever. Pep is trying to do music and concerts and shows and whatnot, but no one wants to book, just her, because who wants to have a Salt-N-Pepa? Anyway, she should have still put Spinderella. Anyway, so at that point in time, VH1 reached out to them both to honor them at the VH1 Honors, and they want them to perform. But again, they had not talked in years, but they both go and they honored all three ladies, even though the movie only showed Spinderella like 5 times, even though the movie didn't even really show when they were leaving the stage at VH1 Honors, they only showed Peppa and Salt as if Spinderella wasn't there, and she was. She performed, girl. That's how the movie ended. The movie ended in 2005 when they performed at the VH1 Honors. Okay, how did y'all do a biopic movie about y'all life and y'all did it in 2020 and y'all ended the movie 16 years ago? So like ain't shit happened in the past 16 years? The fact that they did not even address the bullshit going on between them and Spin, I'm looking like, okay, this was a half-hearted, bullshit-ass, fairy tale-ass story. The fuck, girl, I wasted 3 hours of my life on that shit. The acting was great. I'm not going to say the acting was bad. The bad wig was fine. The fashion was great. The story they told, to me, wasn't truthful because you left out a person who was literally around the whole time. Y'all were touring with Spin. She was always there. I can't watch this and like, oh, it was a great thing. I learned so much. I learned that Herbie wasn't shit. Peppa got her hair burned out, and Salt had bulimia. That's it. I am upset that I learned nothing about what Spin went through being on tour with y'all and working with y'all for 30 damn years. Girl, the fuck bye. Anyway, that was it, y'all. I'm done. Peace.